Hare Krishna, everyone. Let's begin with our prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vāsudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vāsudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vāsudevaya.
Let's do the Mangalacharan prayers all together. Om
Jnanatimirandhasya
Jnananjana
Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam
स्थापितं
Sthapitam
येन
Yena
भूतले
Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadātikam Vande Am Sri Guruhu Sri Yukta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavaśca Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Advaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dīnabandho Jagatpate Upesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vṛṣabhānusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vacha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitānaṁ Pāvanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasa Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
श्री कृष्ण भगवान की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय. Okay, Hare Krishna. So welcome back to our weekly Bhagavad Gita discussion. So we are reading from chapter 10, Vibhuti Yoga, or the opulence of the absolute, and last week we finished up to text 35. So 33 to 35. So where we briefly read about some of Krishna's opulences that he is mentioning. So he says that among the letters, he is letter A. Among the compound words, or the what we call, he is the dual compound. Then among he is also inexhaustible time, Kaloham, Akshaya. And then among the creators, Dhataham Vishwato Mukham, that I am Brahma. Then he says that Mrityu Sarvaharashchaham, I am the all devouring death and generating principle also, something that is generated, that is also, he is the principle. And among the women, he defined the 7 qualities which are feminine. So fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience. And then we learned finally that among the hymns of Samaveda, he is Brihat Sama. And among the poetry or the chandas, he is Gayatri. And of the months, he is Margashirsh. Of the 12 months that Indian Vedic cultural months, what we follow, he said he is Margashirsh. And among the seasons, he is Vasanta, or the flower bearing spring. So we will continue further. So let's recite this verse. So 10.36. So please repeat after me. Dyūtaṁ chalayatām
द्यूतं छलयतामस्मि
Dyūtaṁ chalayatām
द्यूतं छलयतामस्मि
tejas tejasvinām
तेजस तेजस्विनामहम्
tejas tejasvinām
तेजस तेजस्विनामहम्
jayoस्मि vyavasāyoस्मि
जयोस्मि व्यवसायोस्मि
jayoस्मि vyavasāyoस्मि
जयोस्मि व्यवसायोस्मि
sattvaṁ sattvavatām
सत्वं सत्ववतामहम्
sattvaṁ sattvavatām
सत्वं सत्ववतामहम्
द्यूतं chalayatām
द्यूतं चलयतामस्मि
tejas tejasvinām
तेजस तेजस्विनामहम्
jayoस्मि vyavasāyoस्मि
जयोस्मि व्यवसायोस्मि
sattvaṁ sattvavatām
सत्वं सत्ववतामहम्
Thank you, Prabhuji. Chandrakant Prabhu, you want to recite once and then we'll read translation.
Okay. द्यूतं चलयतामस्मि
द्यूतं
chalayatām
तेजस तेजस्विनामहम्
tejas
tejas tejasvinām
जयोस्मि व्यवसायोस्मि
jayosmi vyavasāyoस्mi
सत्वं सत्ववतामहम्
sattvaṁ
sattvaṁ
sattvavatām.
sattvavatām
Thank you, Chandrakant Prabhu. So the synonyms or word for word translation. Dyūtaṁ, he is saying, is gambling. Dyūta. Chalayatām means of all the cheats, all the cheating games that are there. Asmi means I am. Tejah means the splendor. Tejasvinām means of all that is splendid or tejasvi. Aham means I am. Jayah means victory. Asmi means I am. Vyavasāyo means enterprise or adventure. Asmi means I am. Sattvaṁ means the strength. Sattvavatām means of the strong. And aham means I am. So now here he is mentioning, he is describing the qualities here. So in all aspects in the previous verses, what we saw that he is describing personalities, he is describing something that is great. Now here he is describing some core qualities of every aspect, some aspects here. So there are different cheating games. So let's read the translation first. I am also the gambling of the cheats, and of the splendid, I am the splendor. I am victory, I am adventure or enterprise, and I am the strength of the strong. So of all those cheating games or the cheating propensities that are there, he says, I am gambling, because in gambling, there is always cheating involved. It is said that even Chandrakant Prabhu, you will probably know that even in Vegas, when you are gambling in a casino, the house always wins. If you heard that term. So the machines and the games are made in such a way that you have very little odds of winning. The house always wins. So that's how they make business. So Krishna says that he is dyūtaṁ of all the chalayatām. So he is the gambling among all the cheats. Then his teja of all the tejasvi. So there are everything that you see tejasvi. It could be personality, it could be object, it could be like sun. So he says that he is the teja. It is because of him that person or that object or that entity gets that splendor. So he is splendid. Of the splendid, I am the splendor. I am the teja of all the tejasvis. Then jayo, I am the victory. So everywhere there victory, without Krishna's presence, nobody can get victory. So it says that without Krishna's approval, nobody can get victory. And the last verse of Bhagavad Gita says, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, Tratra Shrir Vijayir Bhutor, Dhruvo Nitir Matir Mama. Sanjaya says as a concluding verse of Bhagavad Gita, and he concludes saying Dhritarashtra that wherever there is Krishna, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, wherever there is Supreme Yogeshwara, Krishna, and Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, wherever there is the mighty Arjuna, Tatra, there, Shrir, Vijayi, Bhutor, there will be opulence, Shri, that means wealth or opulence, Vijaya means victory, and Dhruvo Nitir Mama, and eternally there will be Niti also, morality. And that is my opinion. So he kind of destroys the dream that Dhritarashtra is trying to see there, or his thoughts that, oh, my sons will be victorious, the Kauravas will be victorious. So by giving his opinion, Sanjaya concludes that. So he said, Krishna says that I am victory. Then I am adventure or enterprise. The word used here is vyavasāyo. Vyavasāyo means actually, vyavasāyo means firmly fixed in certain business also. Business means what is my goal and I'm working towards that goal. Vyavasāyatmika buddhir ekeha karunandana. In the second chapter, we read this. So vyavasāyatmika buddhi means when one's intelligence is firmly fixed on his ultimate goal, that buddhi is called vyavasāyatmika buddhi. That means that person knows what his business is and he is fully focused on his business. So that is vyavasāya. So here it is translated as either enterprise or adventure. So vyavasāya asmi. So I am also the topmost adventure or topmost enterprise. And then I am the strength of the strong. All the sattvavatām, all the strong personalities, everyone who sees strong, I am actually their strength. So that's what Krishna is saying here. So let's read this purport. Rajesh Anantaraman Prabhu, you want to read the purport, please?
Yes. There are many kinds of cheaters all over the universe. Of all cheating processes, gambling stands supreme and therefore represents Krishna. As the supreme, Krishna can be more deceitful than any mere man. If Krishna chooses to deceive a person, no one can surpass him in his deceit. His greatness is not simply one-sided, it is all-sided. Among the victorious, he is victory. He is the splendor of the splendid. Among the enterprising and industrious, he is the most enterprising. The most industrious among adventurers, he is the most adventurous. Adventurous and among the strong, he is the strongest. When Krishna was present on earth, no one could surpass him in strength. Even in his childhood, he lifted Govardhana hill. No one can surpass him in cheating. No one can surpass him in splendor. No one can surpass him in victory. No one can surpass him in enterprise. And no one can surpass him in strength.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
So very beautiful qualities. And I was just, when we were reading this, I was thinking of some of the Krishna Lila or Krishna's pastimes. Yeah, there are so many pastimes he performed which shows all these qualities.
And included all of this, including cheating.
Among the cheaters from childhood, he shows his cheating propensity.
Yeah.
So there are so many qualities where we can see that among the cheaters. And because he is absolute, everything he does is absolute. It is not the cheating like us. Even his cheating is transcendent, divya.
Yes.
And it is glorified. Actually, whenever everything he does is glorified. He's also known as Makhan Chor. So stealing is considered to be one of the very bad qualities, but his stealing is also transcendental, and he's glorified as chor. Imagine, he's glorified as thief, Makhan Chor. So because he's transcendental, everything he does is pure. It is not the stealing like we do, but it is stealing to give the pleasure to his devotees so that they can relish those pastimes. There were actually, the gopis wanted Krishna to come to their house and steal the butter from their house. They will always actually wait for Krishna to come to their house. And so actually Krishna stealing the butter by Krishna was his reciprocation of his love for the gopis. And when I say gopis, those are like motherly gopis and all aged gopis. So they would relish those pastimes, how Krishna is stealing the butter and how he did something wonderful. So everything. And about cheating, there are so many things actually that when Krishna was caught, he would cheat. And one of the gopis, he caught him red-handed when he was stealing butter. And she took him to Mother Yashoda to complain about him. And then when she was explaining all what she has done, and when she tried to show that I caught him red-handed, and what she saw that she was holding her husband's hand. So everybody was laughing. Mother Yashoda says, you are complaining about Krishna, but why did you catch your husband? This is your husband. Where is Krishna? So Krishna is the greatest cheater. And there are so many small, beautiful pastimes in Vrindavan he performed, and any other places also. So among cheaters, he is the great cheater. But his cheating is also absolute and it is pure because Krishna is completely pure. Then other things, what is so deceitful that Krishna, as a supreme, Krishna can be more deceitful than any mere man. So nobody can cheat Krishna. Don't even think about that. He is the greatest cheater. So if particularly in our devotion, when we are in neophyte level, we try to do or find things and bend the rules and try to escape from some rules and regulations, be sincere. Don't try to cheat Krishna. He's in our heart. He knows what we are thinking also. Forget about what we are doing. He knows what we are thinking. So if we go to temple and we are thinking of something else and we have some inferior motive, he knows it. So never try to cheat Krishna. So that's a warning for devotees. Caution. And there is a Bengali saying, and I think in Marathi also we say Devtari Tala Kon Mari. But in Bengali there is saying Rakhe Krishna Mare Krishna Rakhe ke. So if Krishna wants to kill somebody, nothing in this whole creation can save him. And if Krishna wants to protect somebody, nobody or nothing in this whole creation can kill him. And the best example is the father-son, Prahlad and Hiranyakashipu. So Prahlad was tried to kill Hiranyakashipu tried to kill his son Prahlad, who is merely a 5-year-old boy, in so many ways, so many different ways. But he digested poison. He came out of the foot of elephant. He was put in the poisonous snakes. He still came out. He was put in a boiling oil. He still came out. He was thrown from a cliff. So many ways Hiranyakashipu, his own father, tried.
The best was Holika burning.
Yeah.
When she had a boon, nothing will burn her.
Yeah. So
except that Manat khot asla, that she'll burn, and she burnt.
Yeah.
She came out.
So yeah. So see, if Krishna wanted to protect his devotee, he showed nobody can kill him. And on the other hand, his father has the best insurance policy he could ever have. He got the boon from Brahmaji that he will not be killed by any animal, any man, any
Time
bird,
of day.
nobody. He will not be killed in the day or night, not in water, not in air, not on land, not by any weapon. So the
Yes.
best insurance policy, he is like an insurance, perfect insurance.
Correct.
All the clauses checked, everything was checked. But still, ultimately, Krishna came as Nrsimhadev, who is not in the creation of Brahmaji, who is completely out. So he's not man, not an animal. Then he killed him on his lap, sitting on the doorstep, half inside, half in outside, because he said, I should not be killed inside or outside, and not by any weapon. So he killed him with his nails. So if Krishna wants to kill somebody, nothing in this world can protect them. So yeah, Krishna is the best cheater, and among the victorious, I am the victory. So wherever there is Krishna, victory is always there. It is always by default, victory is always there. He is the splendor of the splendid. So in the creation, what we know with our limited understanding of this, how this universe works, we know that all these planets in the universe, they don't have their own light, but they reflect the light of sun, just like moon. So sun is the only source of energy in this universe, and the sun rays are spread everywhere, and all the other planets, they just reflect the light of the sun. That's why we see moon. Moon doesn't have its own light, but moon reflects the light of the sun, and that's how we see. But so moon gets light from sun, and then it just diverts it, or we see moon because of that. But it is said that sun gets its energy from Krishna, and that's why sun's energy is unlimited. Ashesha teja. यच्चक्षुरेश सविता सकलग्रहाणां राजा समस्त सुरमूर्ति रशेष तेजा यस्याग्नया भ्रमति संवृत काल चक्रो गोविंदमादि पुरुषम तमहम भजामि. When Brahmaji first offered, before even creation started, he offered prayers. Those are known as Brahma Samhita. So he glorifies Krishna as because of his energy, sun has that teja, ashesha teja. And he is considered as one of the eyes of Krishna. Yat chakshuresha, Sabita means sun. Sakalagrahanam Raja, and he is the king of all the planets. And Ashesha Teja, he has teja or fire in it, unlimited. The sun has been burning for millions and billions of years, but his teja has never deteriorated because it is directly coming from Krishna. And sun is not stationary. It also has its own orbit, which is rotating. And because of that, Kala Chakra is happening. But Yasyagnaya Brahmati Kala Chakro, but that sun is also not rotating in its orbit by its own means, but it is doing so by Krishna's order, under Krishna's direction. Yasya Agnaya, Agnya. आज्ञा म्हणतो ना आपण, कृष्णाच्या आज्ञेचं पालन करून तो सगळीकडे तिथे सर्कल करतोय, आणि त्याच्यामुळे कालचक्र हे जो टाइम व्हॉट वी एक्सपिरियन्स, इट इज बिकॉज ऑफ द रोटेशन ऑफ द सन, and all the other planets are also moving. So that movement of sun, there is a very completely separate chapter in the 5th canto, the movement of sun, in which all descriptions are given, the planetary system and everything. So that sun, so his splendor of all the splendid, among the enterprising, industrious, and he is the most enterprising and the most industrious and most adventure. So there are so many adventures Krishna did even from childhood, killing so many demons like Putana, or one of the thing I can think of is Dhenukasur. If you know, there was a demon in the form of donkey. he was controlling a forest in one of the forests in the near Vrindavan in that Brajadham called uh, Talavan. So his friends wanted to taste some fruits in there. Those Tala fruits were very nectarian. So Krishna and they all went there, and then eventually that all the donkey came there, and Krishna and Balram just lifted their legs and threw them in the trees. Or Agasur, there was one demon in the form of Ajgar, or what is called a big giant serpent. And what he thought was, I'll just open my mouth as a cave, and then when these kids enter in my mouth, I'll just close it and swallow them. So these kids, so they thought that this is a very giant cave, big mountain. The serpent or python was so giant that they thought that, oh, this is big mountain and this is a cave. So they all entered in his mouth, and along with, so Krishna realized this, but he also entered with them. And then he tore his belly and then came out of that and brought back his friends. So all the adventures what he did were tremendous, means from the childhood. So he's the most adventurous. And of the strong people, he's the strength. So he is the source of strength actually. This is similar question when Hiranyakashipu, going back to Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad Maharaj's pastimes, when Hiranyakashipu was almost tired or done with trying many things to kill Prahlad, and he asked him, where do you get this strength to be allowed, even after I'm torturing him? How can you remain so calm, and where do you get all this strength? The Prahlad Maharaj's answer was very beautiful. So it's the same source where you get your strength, and that is Krishna. And that angered Hiranyakashipu even more. Imagine his own son glorifying his so-called enemy that he thinks is enemy. Vishnu is my enemy. So, but the source of energy is Krishna. So every strong person or everything that we see here as strong, the strength is coming from Krishna. So no one can surpass him in anything, in cheating, in his splendor, in his strength. So nothing. So all these are qualities that he is describing here are his different vibhutis or different opulences. So any thoughts before we read the next verse?
Nothing, Prabhuji.
Okay.
I think it's a very straightforward kind of.
Yeah, but still, it's opportunity for us to glorify Krishna. So I
definitely, I do agree.
yeah, it is everything. Most of these verses are straightforward, but
Yeah,
it's always
right. Means what
glorifying
an
Krishna.
adjective we put,
Mhm.
the superlative of that is fit for Krishna.
Krishna, yes.
Any adjective you take.
Any adjective, yes, right. Okay, so let's read this. Vṛṣṇīnāṁ vāsudevośmi
Vṛṣṇīnāṁ vāsudevo
Vāsudevo
Pāṇḍavānāṁ dhanañ-jayaḥ
Pāṇḍavānāṁ
Pāṇḍavānāṁ
daṇañ-jayaḥ
daṇañ-jayaḥ
munīnāmapyaham vyāsaḥ
munīnāmapyaham vyāsaḥ
munīnām vyāsa
kavīnām Uśanā kaviḥ
kaviṇām Uśanā
kaviṇām Uśanā
kaviḥ
kaviḥ
Vṛṣṇīnāṁ vāsudevośmi
Vṛṣṇīnāṁ
Vṛṣṇīnāṁ
vāsudevo
Pāṇḍavānāṁ dhanañ-jayaḥ
Pāṇḍavānāṁ
Pāṇḍavānāṁ
daṇañ-jayaḥ
daṇañ-jayaḥ
munīnāmapyaham vyāsaḥ
munīnāmapyaham
munīnāmapyaham
vyāsaḥ
vyāsa
kavīnām Uśanā kaviḥ.
kaviṇām Uśanā
kaviṇām Uśanā
kaviḥ.
kaviḥ.
Thank you. Madhu Prabhu, you want to recite, please?
Prabhu. Vṛṣṇīnāṁ vāsudevośmi
Vṛṣṇīnāṁ
Vṛṣṇīnāṁ
vāsudevośmi
vāsudevośmi
Pāṇḍavānāṁ dhananjaya
पाण्डवानां
पाण्डवानां
धनञ्जय
धनञ्जय
munīnām aham vyāsa
मुनीनामप्यहं
मुनीनामप्यहं
व्यासः
Asah.
व्यासः
kavīnām Uśanā kaviḥ
कवीनां उशना
कविनामुशना
कवी
कवि
Thank you, Madhu Prabhu. So the synonyms here are Vṛṣṇīnāṁ means of the descendants of Vṛṣṇi. So Krishna appeared in the Vṛṣṇi family. So on all the descendants of Vṛṣṇi, Vāsudeva or Krishna in Dwarka. So okay, we'll go in more detail there. Asmi means I am. Pāṇḍavānāṁ means of the Pāṇḍavas. Dhanañ-jayaḥ means Arjuna. Munīnām means of the sages. Api also. Aham, I am. Vyāsaḥ means Vyāsa, the compiler of Vedic literature. Kavīnām means of all the great thinkers. Kavi means the great thinker. Uśanā means Uśanā, that is Shukracharya. Kaviḥ means the thinker. So now here there are great personalities he is describing that I am, and he describes himself as Vāsudeva Krishna also. So of the descendants of Vṛṣṇi, I am Vāsudeva. Of the Pāṇḍavas, I am Arjuna. Of the sages, I am Vyāsa. And among the great thinkers, I am Uśanā or Shukracharya. So Vṛṣṇi is the dynasty in which Krishna appeared, and Vāsudeva Krishna, the Dwarkadish Krishna, he says that I am that Vāsudeva Krishna. So Krishna actually, even though we know Krishna as one, and from childhood, as he, from material perspective, grew older and older, first he was born in the Mathura, then he went to Gokul and Vrindavan, he performed certain pastimes. Then he came back to Mathura, he killed Kamsa and freed his parents and made Ugrasen, the father of Kamsa, as the king again. And then he eventually he saw that there was trouble in Mathura when Jarasandha was to attack. He went and created Dwarka, surrounded by ocean. And then Dwarkadish, so whole Vṛṣṇis, then he shifted to Dwarka. And that Dwarkadish Krishna is called Vāsudevo Krishna, Mathura and Dwarkadish Krishna. So those are Vāsudevo Krishna. But Krishna in Vrindavan is different. He is the Vrajavasi Krishna. So, and all these different pastimes, different Krishna is present and he is known as different. So when we worship Dwarkadish Krishna, the mode is different. When we worship Vrindavan Krishna, the mode is different. When we worship Mathura Krishna, the mode of a devotee is different. But the highest devotion is said to be Vrindavan Krishna, Goloka Namni Nirjadhamni. So he is the topmost planetary system. That's where Krishna is eternally performing his Vrajalila with all his associates, with his all confidential associates. So Vāsudeva Krishna is the Dwarka Krishna. So Rajesh Parve Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Want to read the purport, please, Prabhu?
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Krishna is the original supreme personality of Godhead, and Baldeva is Krishna's immediate expansion. Both Lord Krishna and Baldeva appears as sons of Vāsudeva, so both of them may be called Vāsudeva. From another point of view, because Krishna never leaves Vrindavana, all the forms of Krishna that appear elsewhere are his expansions. Vāsudeva is a Krishna's immediate expansion. So Vāsudeva is not different from Krishna. It is to be understood that the Vāsudeva referred to in this verse of Bhagavad Gita is Baldeva or Balrama, because he is the original source of all incarnations, and thus he is the sole source of Vāsudeva. The immediate expansions of Lord are called Swamsa.
Swamsha. Swamsha.
Swamsha.
Swamsha.
Swamsha, personal expansions. And there are also expansions called Vibhinnamsha, separated expansions. Among the sons of Pandu, Arjuna is famous as dhanañ-jayaḥ. He is best of men and therefore represents Krishna. Among the munis or learned men conversant in Vedic knowledge, Vyāsa is the greatest because he explained Vedic knowledge in many different ways for the understanding of the common mass of people in this age of Kali. And Vyāsa is also known as incarnation of Krishna. Therefore, Vyāsa also represents Krishna. Kavis are those who are capable of thinking thoroughly on any subject matter. Among the Kavis, Uśanā Shukracharya was the spiritual master of the demons. He was an extremely intelligent and far-seeing politician. Thus, Shukracharya is another representative of the opulence of Krishna.
Very cool. So here, Vāsudevo can be referred to. So why is Krishna called Vāsudevo? Because he is son of Vasudeva. Vasudev. So this is pronounced as Vasudev, and Krishna is called Vāsudeva because he appeared as a son of Vasudeva. But in the same manner, Prabhupada is writing here that Vāsudev can also refer to Balaram because he is also son of Vasudeva. And so he's mentioning here that here Vāsudeva is referred to Balaram. The Vāsudeva referred here in this verse is Baldev or Balaram because he's the first and immediate expansion of Krishna. So in the expansion, that what we learned from the Vedic literature. So Krishna is the original supreme personality of Godhead. From him, very first expansion, and that's what it's called Swamsha. So the very first expansion is Baldev. And then Balram, from Balram comes all other expansions. So from Balram comes there is what is called first Chaturvyuha or quadruple, four personalities. That is Aniruddha, Pradyumna, Vasudeva and Sankarshan. And then from that Sankarshan comes Narayan, and from the Narayan comes another quadruple, same names. And then from them comes what is called Karnarnava Vishnu or Karnadokshay Vishnu. And then he is in the Karna ocean. And then from him, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Ksharodakshay Vishnu, and then Ksharodakshay Vishnu is Paramatma. Garbhodakshay Vishnu is the Atma of the universe, or one who is lying on the bed of Shesha, Ananta Shesha, in the universe or the Garbha ocean. So all these expansions are described, but original is Krishna. So unfortunately, we always refer in Bharat, Dashavatara, that's Krishna is avatar of Vishnu. But Krishna is original in all these Vishnu. There are 6 different categories of avatar. They are coming from Krishna and not directly from Krishna. Etecha amshakala pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Vridayanti Yuge Yuge. In the Brahma Samhita, not Brahma Samhita, Srimad Bhagavatam, very first canto, 3rd chapter, it is said. So here Vyasadeva first writes his prominent expansions or avatars, about 24 or 28 of them. But then he says that Krishna's avatar or expansions are unlimited, just like we cannot count the waves in the ocean. We cannot count Krishna's expansions or avatars. But then he further says that Etech Shakala Pumsa, whatever we have described or whatever these unlimited avatar are, they are either his Amsha or here it is called Swamsha. So Amsha, his direct incarnations, or Kala. Kala means incarnations of his incarnations. When these incarnations further expand and appear for different reasons. So they are called Kala, Amsha and Kala. Vetecha Amsha Kala Pumsa. But Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Krishna is the source of all these different categories of Vishnu. And there are many Vishnu categories. So just to give some reference that based on what he's explained. And then there are also expansions are called Vibhinnamsha. So Swamsha and Vibhinnamsha. Then among the sons of Pandu, among all the Pandavas, Arjuna was the greatest. Arjuna is Krishna's eternal, associate. He's eternally with Krishna, always. So he's actually Nar-Narayan Rishi. So he's always with Narayana. So, and that's why he is called as, Krishna says that Pāṇḍavānāṁ dhanañ-jayaḥ. Among the Pandavas, who is greatest? Arjuna. Know that. He is the best man, best of men, therefore represents Krishna. And among the munis, so Vedic knowledge which directly comes from Krishna himself, which is put into writing by Vāsudeva, and that's why Vāsudeva, he is also an expansion or incarnation of Krishna, Krishna Dvayapayana Vyāsa. So he is Krishna, so he was born or appeared between the two dvipas on the boat, if you remember how Vāsudeva appeared. So Parashar Muni is Vāsudeva's father. So Parashar Muni and Satyavati. Satyavati is Shantanu's second wife, Bhishma, for whom Bhishma took Bhishma Pratigya. So Satyavati and Parashar Muni. Satyavati was a Matsya Kanya. She was a daughter of a fisherman. So she was giving ride on a boat to Parashar Muni on from one place to other place. So between the two dvipas, Parashar Muni and Satyavati, Parashar Muni impregnated her and the child was immediately born, Vyasadeva. So that's why he's called Dvaipayana, born between the two dvipas. And Krishna Dvaipayana, and because he divided the Vedas into four, so that the people in Kali Yuga, he knew that there will be less intelligent and they cannot understand one Veda. So he divided it further, and further he knew that they will not even understand the Vedas. So he wrote the Itihasa, Mahabharata, and all the Puranas. So everything. So that's why Krishna says that among the munis or among the sages, I am Vyasadeva. And among the kavis means great thinkers, who can think ahead, who can plan very nicely and very methodical in thinking. The great thinkers. So Shukracharya was one of the great thinkers. He is one of the greatest thinkers, and he is the Acharya of demons. So if you know, all the demons or Daitya, he's the guru of Daityas. And Daityas are always generally materially very prosperous. All the demons are generally materially, so because they engage in all the technological things. So, and that is referred in Vedic literature as Ugra Karma. Ugra Karma means they engage in just uplifting or kind of developing material things so that they can get more pleasure from it. So all this technology development is done generally by demons. And for them, one who is strategizing things so that they can always be ahead. So that is their Acharya, that is Shukracharya. So Shukracharya is considered as one of the greatest thinkers. And Krishna says that among great thinkers, I am Shukracharya, or I am Uśanā. So that's what he's referring here. So it is already 10:21 here. We can probably just read this and quickly go on another 10 minutes or so. But is there any thought before we read this verse in the previous one? No.
Prabhuji,
Yes, Prabhu.
वृष्णी डायनेस्टी म्हणजे
यादव.
ते नाही कळलं. यादव, अच्छा. मी तेच म्हणतो, आपण यादव घराणं म्हणतो ना. तर
वृष्णी.
वृष्णी म्हणजेच यादव का?
तेच वेग आणि त्यांच्यात बरेच ते असे जवळचे ते हे होते ना, ते सगळे सातवताच पण म्हटलंय त्यांना, वेगवेगळी नावं आहेत त्यांना. ती सगळी जी डायनेस्टी आहे त्यांना वृष्णी म्हणताय.
वृष्णी मला वाटतं द्रौपदीचं पण नाव होतं का?
नाही नाही,
नाही,
द्रौपदीचं नाव कृष्णा माहिती आहे मला, वृष्णी नाही माहिती मला.
वृष्णी कोणातरी म्हणजे फिमेल नेम वृष्णी वॉज गिवन, आय बिलीव्ह.
Maybe I missed.
माहित नाही, म्हणजे
वृष्णी
त्या
डायनेस्टी आहे.
बरोबर महाभारत सिरियल मध्ये वृष्णी कोणाला तरी नाव म्हणजे कृष्ण म्हणायचा वृष्णी कोणाला तरी.
नाही. ओके, आठवलं तर पुढच्या वेळी डिस्कस करूया.
हा,
आठवलं तर सांग.
या.
वृष्णीज डायनेस्टी, वृष्णीनां, म्हणजे इवन कोणती महाराणी इन हर प्रेयर्स शी मेन्शन्स दॅट वृष्णीचा तू हे असं सखा आहेस कृष्णाला. ओके, सो लेट्स गो टू द नेक्स्ट वन. दंडो दमयतामस्मी
दंडो दमयतामस्मी
नीतिरस्मि जिगीषताम्
नीतिरस्मी
नीतिरस्मि
जिगीषताम्
जिगीषताम्
मौनं चैवास्मि गुह्यानाम्
मौनं
मौनं
चैवास्मि
चैवास्मि
गुह्यानाम्
गुह्यानाम्
ज्ञानं ज्ञानवतामहम्.
ज्ञानं
ज्ञानं
ज्ञानवतामहम्.
ज्ञानवतामहम्.
दण्डो दमयतामस्मि
दंडो
दण्डो
दण्डो
दमयतामस्मि
दमयतामस्मि
नीतिरस्मि जिगीषताम्.
नीतिरस्मि
नीतिरस्मि
जिगीषताम्
जिगीषताम्.
मौनं चैवास्मि गुह्यानाम्
मौनं
मौनं
चैवास्मि
मौनं चैवास्मि
गुह्यानाम्
गुह्यानाम्.
ज्ञानं ज्ञानवतामहम्.
ज्ञानं
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 ज्ञानवतामहम्.
ज्ञानवतामहम्.
Rajesh Anantaraman Prabhu, you want to recite, please?
दण्डो दमयतामस्मि
दंडो
दण्डो
दमयतामस्मि
दमयतामस्मि.
नीतिरस्मि जिगीषताम्
नीतिरस्मि
निःशिरस्मि
जिगीषताम्
जिगीषताम्.
मौनं चैवास्मि गुह्यानाम्
मौनं
मौनं
चैवास्मि
चैवास्मि
गुह्यानाम्
गुह्यानाम्.
ज्ञानं ज्ञानवतमहम्.
ज्ञानं
ज्ञानं
ज्ञानवतामहम्.
ज्ञानवतामहम्.
Thank you, Rajesh Prabhu. So, word for
Interesting.
word meaning. Danda means punishment. Damayatam means all the means of separation, means to controlling, to suppress or to control. Asmi means I am. Niti means morality. Asmi means I am. Jigishatam means of those who seek victory. Maunam means silence. Cha means and. Eva means also. Asmi means I am. Guhyanam means of secrets. Jnanam means knowledge. Jnanavatam means of the wise or of the knowledgeable who possess knowledge. And aham means I am. So here he is saying, among all means of suppressing lawlessness, I am punishment. And of those who seek victory, I am morality. Of the secret things, I am silence. And of the wise, I am the wisdom. So again, the four things he's saying. For law, keeping law and order, you need to have some authority, and it is required to use some power and control, separation. It is required. Without that, there will not be peace in this world or anywhere. And we see this from time immemorial. Even in Satya Yuga, there was control and law and order was required. So, because there are people who are going to be lawless. So, for suppressing the lawlessness, for controlling such, there is dand or punishment is required. And he says that dand or punishment is I am. Because Krishna comes. Why does Krishna come here? Dharma samsthapanarthaya. So to establish dharma, there is separation required. There is fight and punishment required. Of those who seek victory. Now, for victory seeking, there has to be, the victory should always be on moral grounds. It cannot be immoral. So he's saying, jigishatam, I am niti rasmi jigishatam. I am the niti among one who are seeking victory. I am the morality. Of secrets, I am silence. Maunam chaivasvayyanam. So if you want to get something out of somebody, if he's keeping quiet, what more secret you can get out? So the silence is the greatest secret. And that's why he says, among all the guhya or secrets, I am silence. And jnanam jnanavatam aham. I am the jnana or wisdom or knowledge of the wise person. And that wisdom is actually not material wisdom here, but the spiritual wisdom where one knows who really he is. Aham brahmasmi. And who God is, what is his relationship with the God, that is sambandha jnana. What is his duty in that relationship, and what is the ultimate goal to attain. So this whole knowledge, sambandha abhideya prayojan, that is the real knowledge. And Krishna says that jnanam jnanavatam, of those knowledgeable persons, I am the knowledge. Chandrakanta Prabhu, you can read.
Yeah. There are many suppressing agents, of which the most important are those that cut down miscreants. When miscreants are punished, the agency of chastisement represents Krishna. Among those who are trying to be victorious in some field of activity, the most victorious element is morality. Among the confidential activities of hearing, thinking, and meditating, silence is the most important because by silence one can make progress very quickly. The wise man is he who can discriminate between matter and spirit, between God's superior and inferior natures. Such knowledge is Krishna himself.
Pretty straightforward, pretty clear, right? But here, what Prabhupada writes also, the agency of chastisement represents Krishna. So, anybody who is in a superior position is actually a representative of Krishna, and he should work in that thought or in that mood. So, a king is said to be working and controlling, ruling, so that he represents Krishna. He is a representative of Krishna. If the king is ruling in that way, then he is considered as a moral or good king. It doesn't matter whom he is ruling. And that's why when Krishna comes here, he wanted to establish Yudhishthir as a king. Because he knows Yudhishthir will rule according to Dharma, and he is the right representative to rule this planet Earth. So when he comes here for Dharma samsthapanarthaya, he wants to clean all the weeds and then put somebody in charge who will rule according to the Dharma. So following Dharma means one who is representing Krishna. So that's why the king or any leader is actually a representative of Krishna. And if he doesn't work in that way, that means he is punishable. Just to emphasize on that a little bit. Rest everything is pretty straightforward actually. And silence is the most important because by silence one can make progress. It's very important. And the real knowledge is to discriminate between matter and spirit and between God's superior and inferior natures. Does anyone remember what is superior and inferior nature? We learn in the 7th chapter. Krishna says the material energy is inferior energy and spiritual energy is my superior energy. भूमिरापो नलो वायु खं मनो बुद्धिरेव च अहंकार इत्ययं मे भिन्ना प्रकृतिरष्टधा. That earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego, ahankar. These are my eight separated material energies. So they're all collectively classified as material energy. But then in the next verse, he says that in the 5th verse of 7th chapter, apareyam itastvanya prakrutim viddhime param. That these are all apara prakriti. Apara means inferior. But other than this apara prakriti, there is also a superior param prakriti. What is that? Jiva bhutam mahabaho. All these living entities. These are my superior energy. So these are the superior and inferior, material and spiritual. Jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam dharete jagit. And this jiva bhutam, they are using or exploiting the material energy. So this knowledge to discriminate between spiritual and material energy is Krishna. I think we'll stop here today. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any thoughts or reflections?
Nothing for this.
Okay. Hare Krishna.